Baseball is life. Baseball, like life, has a lot of failure, and how to handle that failure to be able to exceed over the long term is critical. Baseball is inherently unfair. One batter hits a rocket hard line drive, but right at a defender and is out. He sits back down. The next batter barely gets the bat to the ball and hits a blooper just over the head of a defender and is rewarded with a base hit. Players make errors, coaches make errors, even umpires make errors. Like life, we need to accept that fact and learn to stay positive and focused on the goal. Dwelling on the past or things that you can't control is not helpful. And the list could go on and on. The point of saying this is that this video is not meant to belittle or attack anyone. Umpires are a critical part of the game, and I have the utmost respect for the men and women who give their time to make this great game possible. In this video, we're going to walk through multiple bad calls, and do this hopefully in a way that promotes the game, promotes learning, and promotes positive youth baseball. The compilation is going to be broken down into different categories, the first being obstruction, one of the more difficult rules for baseball fans to grasp. Most of these clips are also featured in other videos we posted, and with much more explanation.
Got through, it's through. Turn and look, just turn and look. Hey, if you're in the outfield,
A fielder does not have a right to go for the ball and obstruct a runner when fielding a thrown ball. The runner has all the rights to the base path over a fielder who does not actually possess the baseball.
Keep going! Keep going! Hey, doesn't matter!
Hey! Whoa! Obstruction! Hey! Whoa! Can I get time? Did you see the obstruction? It was obvious.
Look at the first baseman's dirty because he ran into him.
I mean, he was laying down.
That's why I sent him.
Well, the player was making a play on the ball. It was incidental contact.
There's no play on the ball. Plus, it was
Out at second, one out. Let's go.
Hey, no worries. You did exactly.
Bouncing ball, sneaks under the glove of the third baseman, and the bases are loaded. 3 in a row, including 2 straight pinch hits. So the subs, the reserves, delivering here in clutch time in the 4th inning for Connecticut. And he has been awarded home plate. Nick Maynard just was awarded home, and now the third base umpire, Bill Bailey, is going to get a visit from Coach Costello.
But he has to make an attempt to. I would feel it because he has to make an attempt to go home. But maybe not.
It is. It's the go-ahead run.
Let's take a look at it again here. It's a base hit. Yeah, right there. He gets in his way. So under the discretion of the umpire, he can view that as not giving him the right of way and being able to score. This is right there. But it's too bad because there's no way he was scoring. No.
This compilation here is about one of the newer rules in baseball. Little League was the first organization to adopt it. Now it's gone all the way up to Major League Baseball, often called the Buster Posey rule. It is a rule that says that a catcher may not block the runner's access to reaching home plate unless he possesses the ball. So if he's fielding a thrown ball and does not have the ball in his possession, he cannot prevent the runner from reaching home. One of the problems that we have with this rule is that if the runner is 10 feet up the line and the catcher is in the path of the runner, that's not obstruction because he hasn't yet prevented the runner the access to home plate. As long as the ball gets to him prior to the runner being obstructed, then he's not obstructing. So it all depends on when the ball gets there, and it means that plate umpires need to be constantly aware of the obstruction. Where's the catcher? Where's the ball? When does he possess the ball? And where's the runner when he possesses the ball? And the next couple of clips are going to be all on the catcher obstructing a runner without possession of the ball.
He is safe at home, and 2 more runs for Connecticut. I think the umpire at home is having a couple of words with J.R. Osmond, who once again appeared to try to block home plate.
Yeah, the New England coach is a little frustrated down there, saying that's 2 times now. And there you see the good job by Kardnick, a nice effort by him, but laying out once it clicks off that glove, that allows that runner from second to come around and score two. I know. And you see right away the players from Connecticut saying, hey, he's blocking the plate. He can't do that.
In this clip, we have an umpire who makes the correct call. She watches for the obstruction, sees it, points it out, and then awards the correct base. In type A obstruction, the runner always gets the next base after the last base occupied, even if they were headed back to the previous base when the obstruction occurred. Time is called, and any other runners on base at the time are awarded the base the umpire judges would nullify the obstruction call. This is where you get the common idea that he had to make an attempt. If other runners are headed toward a base, they are typically granted that base. If they are headed back to a base, they are sent back. Awarding the other runners bases after type A obstruction often gets mingled with how to assign runners after type B obstruction. It can be a confusing game at times. Here we have runner's lane interference by the batter. He did not use the runner's lane and interfered with the fielder's ability to field the throw at first base. Time is called, and all other runners are returned to the base they occupied at the time of the pitch. Here, the umpire gets the call right, but spends 5 minutes trying to figure out where the runner should be placed. The commentators here are just guessing in the booth.
Couldn't get the throw down from lane to first base. We'll have a conversation. Not sure where the runner was. This may be very well where the runner was. Did he have an opportunity? Was he running in the base pass? So I think that's what the conversation was over. That's a violation of running. Everybody will be sent back. So Dominguez will be out as he was running in the field of play, nowhere to throw the ball. He wasn't in the lane. He sees in the field of play, so they're going to call that interference. I believe everybody gets to move up 60 feet. There is not an out at third because the play is dead at that point. Our camera angle right there, running in the field of play. So they're going to call a violation for interference. The runners will be moved back. They are allowed to move forward. Right. The 60 feet, but the runner, the batter, is out.
Want to explain to you what happened in the press box? We had a running lane violation. Batter violated.
So because of the running lane violation, it puts you in a scenario here. You know, one run has to come off the board, but still have second and third, one out. The sacrifice still worked. I'm not sure why Hernandez is at first base and they allowed maybe to be at third. They should both
Called out on interference, so everyone's got to return to their original bases.
Correct.
This is a huge break for Oklahoma.
In this clip, we have runner's interference. That is, anytime a runner interferes with a fielder fielding a hit ball. Now, you're going to hear the commentators talk about the runner's lane. In this situation, the runner's lane is completely irrelevant. All that matters is which fielder has a right to field the ball. The umpire has to pick only one fielder to give the right to field the ball. In this case, it will be the pitcher. Since the runner interferes with the pitcher's ability to field a hit ball, time is called and the runner is out, and all other runners return to the base they were at the time of the pitch. If any other fielder other than the pitcher got in the runner's way, it's obstruction. Only one fielder gets the right to the ball. This is an interference by the runner, and contact is not required.
Going down the line. Really difficult call right there. Is that interference in your eyes?
and not in the running lane. You can see he's in the field of play right there. He's running down the line. So his contact is in the field of play. You can see where the running lane starts right there. Was not out in it. I think it's the proper call. One more time here. You can see Luke get to the ball. Schubert running inside, though. That's For me, the key is that he was not in his running lane. He was running in fair territory. The fielder has the opportunity to make the play. I totally believe that was a proper call.
Oh. Collins, run on the back, dude. Come on.
Because my stupid thing calls the catcher's obstruction. What's this count? Okay, and then a ball low, swinging strike, and a ball. I only had 2 on him, right? I did too. I know it. He's wrong. We had 2. Shh, be quiet. Dude. What you have, man? Thanks, Blue. Thanks, guys. That's some nice kid out there. Finish it off. There you go, Max.
This next clip is a very interesting one. The original upload received over 1.5 million views, and while I still have not heard from anyone involved, after discussing it with people, I have a pretty strong theory on what occurred. The umpires here are never seen on screen calling the batter out. We just see the players run off the field. It's not the umpire's job to stop fielders from leaving the field before 3 outs. The runner on third could have easily scored, but instead, he presumably went to the dugout. The issue being discussed may have been if the batter and the 2 runners left the playing field, who was called out. In my scenario, it should have been the runner on third, as we assume he left the playing field first. But the next time this team is up to bat, the next batter in the lineup comes up. Who knows for sure? I wish I would hear from you if you were on the field during this game, but it is possible that the umpires didn't actually make a mistake here.
Well, you can see the fastball right here inside. Strike 1, ball 1, and this is when we had the first and third, stolen base of second base. That's a catch. That looked like a swing. He did go, and that'll be the inning.
Who are here watching this game, and the other one up the hill on the U.S. side. That's a strike in the stands. Yeah. 1-1, no matter what happens, win or lose. That one gets away from the catcher just briefly. The throw's going to go into left field, and that will score the first run for the Dominican Republic. Uceta with some hustle, and he forced the mistake. He scores that first run and the tying run. And it's a tie game with the go-ahead run at second base. Torres takes strike 3 called with the breaking ball. So 3 strikeouts, but 2 walks and a run.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Oh, well, I guess we had the count wrong. I thought the count, maybe the pitch, there was a pitch in question earlier in the at-bat. There's confusion everywhere. But it's 2-2. So it must have been 2-1, not 1-2 before that last pitch. So now it's 2-2. Torres still has some life. I think they made a mistake. I think it was strike 3. Okay, now
that one is 2.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4 strikes, you're out.
Good job. Good job. Good, boys. There you go, 3-4.
Two balls, one strike. No. Only 2 strikes. That's only 2 strikes. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Oh, hold on. It was 2-2 before that.
Yeah, what?
He swung
twice. 2 balls and 1 strike and then right.
Can we check with their scorekeeper? He swung 3 times.
Home team. Who's home team?
They are.
They are home team. What count did you have? Yeah, thank you. 2-2. Thank you.
He swung 3 times.
Count!